This program has frequently been called a zombie apocalypse show, but it's truly about the struggle for the human spirit. So it's only fitting that one of the stars of The Walking Dead on AMC, Steven Yeun, who plays the fan favorite Glenn Rhee on that popular program that got 15.6 million viewers when the mid-season premiere went down earlier this month. Good to see you,
Thank
Steven.
you for having me.
How are you?
I'm good.
You are a Michigan man.
I am.
I like that.
Yeah.
As
yeah.
you might imagine, I
yes,
like that a lot.
absolutely.
So where are you from in the state of Michigan?
I'm from Troy, Michigan.
Okay.
Yeah, so probably where you went to go shopping at Somerset Mall.
Every now and then, whenever I got out of Washtenaw County,
Exactly,
whenever I could get a car off campus in Ann Arbor. But you went to, you stayed in state for school?
Yeah, I
as
went
well?
to Kalamazoo College, so D3.
So near Western, right?
Near
Western Michigan?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we were like the nerdy stepbrother to Western. So
What does that make Western then? The cool?
I don't know. We had a real chip on our shoulder because we had like 1,500 kids. So it's like we had that little Kalamazoo pride going, even though our sports teams were terrible.
So are you a Wolverine or a Spartan? What are you?
Ooh, you know what it is? I lay no claim to a particular allegiance, but I root for both. But if I have to lean,
Sure.
it's state.
Why is that? Why?
All my cousins went to Michigan, and all my friends went to Michigan, and it was just kind of this. It was at the time when Woodson was on the team, and so
They were in the national championship.
Exactly, and your natural inclination, if everyone's doing one way, is to go the other way.
So now you should be rooting for Michigan.
Yeah, those are
it's totally reversed, Steven. I mean, good Lord.
Well, also, you just want to. I just love D'Antonio, you know, and I love Izzo.
He's a good coach,
and it's fun to watch. I guess just bare bones, like hard work, underdog victories. Not that Michigan doesn't have that, but I don't know. I'm digging myself into.
No, it's all good. No, listen. No, Michigan State is a great institution of learning. Michigan's a great institution of higher learning. There's just been some issues winning some football games there lately, but we have the right coach to straighten that out. I'm with Steven Yeun, the star of the series The Walking Dead on AMC Sunday nights at 9 Eastern Time. Are you a Lions fan? That makes you a Lions fan?
Huge Lions fan.
Okay.
Which destroyed me this past playoffs. I literally threw a massive fit in my house.
When the flag got picked up?
How does that happen?
Great question.
How does that happen? Like, do you have insider information?
Yes, I do.
You do?
Yes, the referee who picked up the flag is really a zombie.
I knew
That's it, yes.
I knew it. That was the only explanation for that.
Yes, it was a Walking Dead referee.
There was nothing going on.
Something was happening. You tell me. You're more of an expert on that front than I am.
It bothered me because everyone was witnessing a train wreck, and yet nobody did anything about it. And then the week after, the team that makes a great amount of money for the NFL was in the next game.
Well, now listen, I understand, and I did hear a lot about that certainly from Lions fans, that there's America's team and that's the Cowboys.
Yeah.
But that does not describe the previous 2 decades of 500
of terrible
morass that they were in. So if the league really wanted them, they wouldn't have gone through 2 decades of exactly 500 football. That wouldn't have happened.
That's true, but it just seemed so appropriate at the time to have Green Bay face off Dallas, because then you can't lose. Whoever makes it to the Super Bowl or whoever makes it to the next round is. So
were you one of those Lions fans who took particular glee in the Calvin Johnson rule that screwed you guys over back in the opener a few years ago in Chicago, came home to roost on the team that, in your mind, advanced because a flag got picked up on their behalf?
Okay, this is what I will say. I will say I never like a game to be decided by some weird rule.
Of course.
And so in that particular scenario, in my opinion, even beyond the rule, that was a drop, because it was coming out. And I don't even think that rule needed to be necessarily instituted. I mean, I guess it had to be, because he grabbed it.
Yes, you still think that was not a catch, even in the rules, under the rules, that is not a catch.
Under the rules, that is not a catch.
Correct.
And people can argue that it's a bad rule, but I see the purpose of the rule. However, in the Calvin Johnson situation, that wasn't even applicable to the rule. It was a catch, and then he just happened to put the ball on the ground.
To push himself back
Exactly.
up.
Like
I know.
he grabbed it, fell on the ground, had complete possession, was already down, and then to get up, he just used the ball to get himself
I know.
up. It wasn't a fumble. I just don't understand.
It is something that needs to be changed for obvious reasons, because if fans are sitting at home saying that's a catch,
Yeah.
it looks like a catch, it walks like a catch, it sounds like a catch,
Exactly.
it's a catch, and then there's a rule that you may not know. Certainly if there's such a large audience watching a big game like that, to be introduced to the game, if that's possible, through that, it's something that shouldn't be happening. It's basically that if you put the ball on the ground, after you have both feet on the ground and two hands on the football, then if it's on the ground, it should be a fumble. And it's on you to maintain possession, to get all the round, unless you want to lose possession.
Absolutely.
That's the way I view this.
I'm cool with that.
We are in agreement. I
Yes.
like that. I'm here with Steven Yeun of The Walking Dead on AMC. Why do you think this show is so huge, Steven?
Oh man, you know, I think it just kind of hits on that perfect vibe of what really would you do in an apocalyptic situation? Not necessarily about the zombies, but I think fans watch and they say, I would be Glenn, or I would be Rick, or I would be Carol or Daryl, and you choose your character and you kind of follow them along as they progress, or if they might die, then you see why, and it's just this discussion. I feel like it's like watching an active discussion on what you would do and how you would behave. And so I think right now is a good time, because sometimes the world does look like it's about to end.
When scripts come out, do you read them with a little bit of trepidation, wondering if in any way, shape, or form Glenn is going to eat it?
You know, it would be a massive bummer if something like that were to happen, and I don't know, it might happen.
Uh-oh.
We'll see.
Okay.
But you know, I at this point we're going into our 5th season, or we're showing our 5th season. I feel like we've made a very indelible mark, and I'm happy with the progress that Glenn has made as well to this point. So, I don't know. I mean, I'm just kind of excited to see the next point of the story.
Well, I go through an apocalyptic situation almost on a daily basis here, because my sound man, who's clearly not even paying attention right now, has a very zombie-like state, Mike Del Tufo, and I never know where he might come out and leap out at this program and do some considerable damage to it, you know?
Just turn it all up. Just push all the boards.
Is that what you do, Mike?
Yeah, I could just push all the buttons. And
Law, that would be bad. That would be very, very bad.
That would not be good. And the last member of the Walking Dead cast that we had.
No. People may not know.
Okay,
People may not know.
I wasn't going to say anything. All right.
That's when you put that air horn.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
We always talk about the show bump. We got to somehow.
No, we don't
keep it
spoil
real with our
anything here.
audience. Okay. All right.
We don't spoil anything here.
Fan base.
See, I told you, these zombies can come from anywhere on
That's
this
fair,
program.
yeah. That's fair.
If you have any tips for me on how to handle it,
On how to handle like,
zombies that work here on this set, and I'm in an apocalyptic situation sometimes.
I say just find the nearest crafty table and stock up.
Stock up on supplies and food.
Cube cheese.
Cubed cheese. Name of my fantasy team, by the way, Cube Cheese. Thank you for coming in. Good luck
for
to your
having me.
Lions, man, moving
Thank
forward.
you.
No,
Yeah.
hey, listen, I think things are definitely better.
Yes,
There's no
better.
question there.
Yes.
The arrow is pointing up
It's pointing.
for the
it's pointing,
Honolulu Blue.
Like northwest right now. I feel like
from Detroit to Kalamazoo. In a
Yeah,
way.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
mostly
Yeah, I like
west.
that. Yeah,
Kanye
mostly
That's like
West,
Grand
Kim
Rapids
Kardashian.
almost in a way.
Yes,
you know,
yes,
almost
yes.
towards Grand Rapids.
I'll take Grand Rapids,
Okay.
Wisconsin.
Hey, congrats on the success of your show, and I hope to have you back in. I know I didn't take you to a spa like Conan, but you know you can come here
We
anytime.
can always go to a spa, just us two, if you wanted to.
You know what? Let's take that one offline, as they say in the business. Good to chat with you, buddy.
Cheers.
You bet. That's Steven Yeun of The Walking Dead.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern. On Audience.
I lay no claim to a particular allegiance, but
Okay.
I root for both. But if I have to lean,
Sure.
it's State.
Why is that? Why?
All my cousins went to Michigan, and all my friends went to Michigan, and it was just kind of this. It was at the time when Woodson was on the team, and so
They were in the national championship.
exactly. And your natural inclination, if everyone's doing one way,
Right.
is to go the other way.
So now you should be rooting for Michigan.
Yeah, but those are
It's
the
totally
formative
reversed,
years.
Steven. I mean, good Lord.
Well, also you just want to. I just love D'Antonio, and I love Izzo.
He's a good
and
coach.
and it's fun to watch. I guess just bare bones, like hard work, underdog victories. Not that Michigan doesn't have that, but I don't know. I'm digging myself into.
No, it's all good. No, listen. No, Michigan State is a great institution of learning. Michigan's a great institution of higher learning. There's just been some issues winning some football games there lately, but we have the right
Yes.
coach to straighten that out. I'm
All
with
right.
Steven Yeun, the star of the series The Walking Dead on AMC Sunday nights at 9 Eastern Time. Are you a Lions fan? That makes you a Lions fan?
Huge Lions fan.
Okay.
Which destroyed me this past playoffs. I literally threw a massive.
And then there's a rule that you may not know. Certainly, if there's such a large audience watching a big game like that, to be introduced to the game, if that's possible, through that, it's something that shouldn't be happening. It's basically that if you put the ball on the ground after you have both feet on the ground
Right.
and two hands on the football, then if it's on the ground, it should be a fumble. And it's on you
Right.
to maintain possession, to get all the way around, unless you want to lose possession. That's
Absolutely.
the way I view this.
I'm cool with
We
that.
are in agreement. I
Yes.
like that. I'm here with
Yeah.
Steven Yeun of The Walking Dead on AMC. Why do you think this show is so huge, Steven?
Oh man, I think it just kind of hits on that perfect vibe of what really would you do in an apocalyptic situation? Not necessarily about the zombies, but I think fans watch and they say, I would be Glenn, or I would be Rick, or I would be Carol or Daryl, and you choose your character and you kind of follow them along as they progress, or if they might die, then you see why, and it's just this discussion. I feel like it's like watching an active discussion on what you would do and how you would behave. And so I think right now is a good time because sometimes the world does look like it's about to end.
When scripts come out, do you read them with a little bit of...
Fit in my house.
When the
but-
flag got picked up?
How does that happen?
Great question.
How does that happen? Like, do you have insider information?
Yes, I do.
You do?
Yes, the referee who picked up the flag is really a zombie.
I knew
That's
it.
it, yes.
I knew it. That was the only explanation
Yes,
for that.
it was a Walking Dead referee.
There was nothing going on.
Something was
maybe
happening. You tell me.
something-
You're more of an expert on that front than I am.
It bothered me because everyone was witnessing a train wreck, and yet nobody did anything about it. And then the week after, the team that makes a great amount of money for the NFL was in the next game.
Well, now, listen, I understand, and I did hear a lot about that, certainly from
Yeah.
Lions fans, that there's America's team and that's the Cowboys.
Yeah.
But that does not describe the previous 2 decades of 500
of terrible.
morass that they were in. So if the league really wanted them, they wouldn't have gone through 2 decades of exactly 500 football. That wouldn't have happened.
That's true, but it just seemed so appropriate at the time to have Green Bay face off Dallas, because then you can't lose. Whoever makes it to the Super Bowl or whoever makes it to the next round
Yeah.
is.
So were you one of those Lions fans who took particular glee in the Calvin Johnson rule that screwed you guys over back in the opener a few years ago in Chicago, came home to roost on the team that in your mind advanced because a flag got picked up on their behalf?
Okay, this is what I will say. I will say I never like a game to be decided by some weird rule.
Of course.
And so in that particular scenario, in my opinion, even beyond the rule, that was a drop. Because it was coming out. And I don't even think that rule needed to be necessarily instituted. I mean, I guess it had to be because he grabbed it.
Yes, you still think that was not a catch, even in the rules, under the rules, that is not a catch.
Under the rules, that is not a catch.
Correct.
And people can argue that it's a bad rule, but I see the purpose of the rule. However, in the Calvin Johnson situation, that wasn't even applicable to the rule. It was a catch, and then he just happened to put the ball on the ground.
To push himself back
Exactly.
up.
Like
I know.
he grabbed it, fell on the ground, had complete possession, was already down, and then to get up, he just used the ball to get himself
I know.
up. It wasn't a fumble. I just don't understand.
It is something that needs to be changed for obvious reasons, because if fans are sitting at home saying that's a catch,
Yeah.
it looks like a catch, it walks like a catch, it sounds like a catch,
Exactly.
it's a catch. This program has frequently been called a zombie apocalypse show, but it's truly about the struggle for the human spirit. So it's only fitting that one of the stars of The Walking Dead on AMC, Steven Yeun, who plays the fan favorite Glenn Rhee on that popular program that got 15.6 million viewers when the mid-season premiere went down earlier this month. Good to see you,
Thank
Steven.
you for having me.
How are you?
I'm good.
You are a Michigan man.
I am.
I like that.
Yeah.
As
yeah.
you might imagine, I
Yes,
like that a lot.
absolutely.
So where are you from in the state of Michigan?
I'm from Troy, Michigan.
Okay.
Yeah, so probably where you went to go shopping at Somerset Mall.
Every now and then, whenever I got out of Washtenaw County,
Exactly,
whenever I could get a
yeah.
car off campus in Ann Arbor. But you went to, you stayed in state for school?
Yeah, I
as
went
well?
to Kalamazoo College, so D3.
So near Western, right? Near Western, Michigan?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, we were like the nerdy stepbrother to Western. So
What does that make Western then? The cool?
I don't know. We had a real chip on our shoulder because we had like 1,500 kids. So it's like we had that little Kalamazoo pride going, even though our sports teams were terrible.
So are you a Wolverine or a Spartan? What are you?
You know what it is?